Hello, and welcome to the 104th edition of Beer Issues. My name is Matt Bruckert, and I'm coming to you live here from quarantine at Casa de Bruckert, where we're going to be sampling another great local beer from Rockpit, which is an Orlando brewery. We're going to have their Buried Sunshine, which is a New England style IPA, which I would say that I'm really excited to try, but I'll be honest, I've already tried it, but I wanted to do a video about it because the beer is really good and really tasty. So let's go ahead and pour it, and then we'll be talking about the beer. Okay, we're going to talk about a couple of things. Number one, the beer clocks in at 7.2% alcohol by volume, which is very nice for an IPA. So a good ABV. This is a hazy, as you can see. Look at this; it's almost like orange juice. I don't know if you can tell this looking at the video, but it looks just like a glass of orange juice, which to me, that's a sign of a really delicious New England style IPA. When you get that hazy, orangish, beautiful, you can't see through it, but it's just like a big glass of orange juice. So I know, before I even taste it, smell it, or anything, I know what kind of quality we're dealing with there. So I'm going to sit this down for just a second, then we're going to talk about it. Now, this beer, for an IPA, has a pretty low IBU. It's only a 40 IBU, which is pretty low on the whole scheme of IPAs. And you might ask, what is an IBU? Well, IBU is an International Bitter Unit. It's a measurement for determining what the level of bitterness is in the beer. Okay, so your highest level IBUs are going to be your double, triple IPAs, and they'll range. IBUs in a beer goes anywhere from 5, being really low, all the way up to 120 IBUs, and those are going to be your really, really high level, super hoppy, double, triple IPAs that just, get you. But anyway, you might be surprised with IBUs because IBUs are the strongest in the double or imperial or triple IPAs. But the next highest level is actually in the imperial stouts. So it would go from like imperial IPAs to imperial stouts, and then to American IPAs, and then like American stouts. So the bitterness level is all in that top end of that, and then it would go into like a brown ale, and it would keep going progressively downhill. I think your lowest ones are the like sours and stuff like that. They have hardly any bitterness into them. They're super sweet. They're not bitter at all. So if you think of the bitterness unit, you have a bitterness in an IPA, you have a bitterness in a stout. So if you think of it that way and you kind of work your way down, you can kind of guess as to what it is. But a lot of the breweries now put the IBUs on their beers, when they make them. But this is 40, which is a nice for a New England style ale, probably about perfect. There was no rating on this beer because it's relatively new, and I just don't think enough people have really tried it. So I'm going to do the rating on it. This is going to be a first ever Matt rating. Just not talking about anybody else's ratings. We're just going to talk about what I think of the beer, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to smell it. Oh, so just like when I smelled it yesterday, right off the bat, you get like a mango, citrusy, so there's definitely some, like a guava smell, and there's actually a touch, and I smelled this yesterday, I'm going to see if I can smell it again today, but a touch of coconut. Oh, the smell, if you did nothing else but smell this beer, you would be very happy because it's just a wonderful, great smell you get in the beer. Now, why do they call it Buried Sunshine? Well, Rockpit Brewing, obviously Rockpit, they're talking about, coal mining and stuff like that, but they used to call coal Buried Sunshine because they said it was as good as gold. So that's the name. This is gold, so it's Buried Sunshine. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sample this. And like I said, I might have had one of these yesterday or maybe a couple, who knows. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this the official taste test. Oh, phenomenal. And we've talked about this before. When it comes to an IPA, either like a really, really strong double or triple IPA, or I go towards the New England style, are my favorites. Now, I could drink an American IPA with the best of them, but I'm not as big a fan of the piney, resiny flavor that come in some of those IPAs. So I'm really particular about my IPAs. So if you're on that scale, you either like the really strong ones or the lighter ones, like the New England style, then this would definitely be right up your alley if you're a fan of the New England style IPAs. I think it's delicious. I think it's something you can drink in all weather. It's a nice hot day today, as you can see. And it is... Oh, it's just delicious. You get that mango, guava, like citrusy. Oh, just phenomenal. Okay, so my rating. Let's talk about this. The rating is kind of hard to say. For a New England IPA, if you go with just pure New England style IPA, I would say this is very good. So I'm going to give this beer probably at least if on a scale of 100, I'll call it a 90. I think it's that good of a local New England style IPA. I just absolutely love it, and that's why I'm having it right now and telling you guys about it. So you can get out to Rockpit Brewing and try. They got a lot of other good beers. They're able to be open during the pandemic situation. They do the food trucks, and they're just able to make it work. Of course, they do follow the guidelines, so you're going to have to wear a mask when you go inside, which is smart, actually. But at the same time, there's some outdoor seating, so you don't have to feel like you're stuck inside, and they are distanced inside. And there's no sitting at the bar. You got to walk up and order, and they're following the guidelines so they can continue to stay open and not have any problems. Okay, so make sure you check out Rockpit. I've had many beers from there. I've always enjoyed their beers, so make sure you check them out. And make sure you check out shop.beerissues.com for all your merchandise for Beer Issues. We got lots. We've even got some masks coming up real soon, so you can have your Beer Issues mask. So when you go out to the local breweries or wherever you go, you can get a really cool Beer Issues mask. Those will be coming out real soon. I'll make sure to share them with you when I get them. And also, make sure you tell your friends about Beer Issues. If you enjoyed this, you learned something. Maybe today you learned something about IBUs that you didn't know. Make sure you tell your friends about it so they can have all the fun that we're having, drinking beer and talking about beer. And as my wife likes to say, I have beer issues.